Okay, clear night portrait, stabilised with just the hand with no arrows is on, level shots on, AF macros on, spot culling is on, checked, and I'm only 3 notches down on darkness because I think we found that a dull day with no sun and maybe a bit of over sky edge is so we'll be able to compare the footage, fellas. I'll probably buggered something. Well, we got this other, I don't know, will the old spot culling with the macro do its wonders or not? Oh well, I gave it a shot, fellas. I can't see a bloody thing at the back of the camera until hopefully the camera dries out properly, and as I said, I think I'm going to have to stick it in the car in the week, you know, as the temperatures warm up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've actually got to get. I think you can actually change the size of the box. I've got it on the smallest size of the box, which now I don't think is the. Early on, it was all right. Now when I can't see a bloody thing, yeah. You know, you've actually got to get that box on whatever it is you want to get into focus, sort of thing. You know, get the camera to adjust. But anyway, have we got anything out here? Normally we have quite a few more. Oh, there's the odd one down here. Yeah, that's got a look to it that's yeah, more triangle leavish. As I said, the ones over in WA, season was a lot longer. Used to go through, you know, 4 to 6 week window of sort of leaves you never. I don't know. They've thrown up a whole load of photographs of like Drosera gigantea and coloured Drosera gigantea and all that sort of stuff, and they're just not the size, you know. I mean, they used to come up to my shoulder height and they were sturdier than that. They're like bloody trees. Whether the fact that this red form only comes from a particular location, probably a granite apron or something like that. That's what it really is all about. They've never seen a true bloody Drosera gigantea, and maybe that's what it is. You know, they've never actually. Maybe, of course, now Cannington Swamp's not there anymore. Apparently, maybe they won't get to see a proper Drosera gigantea. You know, a proper one. They're all seeing these bloody special stuff, all this special stuff, the coloured stuff, and yeah, bi-coloured metallic or whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm just waxing lyrical here, but yeah. Oh, I was not too impressed. They just don't look the same. They're not as sturdy. They're not as tall. And I'm thinking, what the heck has gone on over in WA since the America's Cup? Yeah, not too happy, not too impressed. And everyone says, oh, I've got to have a coloured one. I say, well, if you've ever had a real Drosera gigantea, you won't need the coloured one. You'll be blown away by a proper Drosera gigantea, one that's very tall, sturdy. You know, you can stub your toe in a Wellington boot and it will hurt. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the crap's going on, but I don't know. Not too much out here at the moment. Get the odd few hanging on here. I thought I'd just do a colour check on this. It's too much windage. I've probably got a lot of windage in the bloody speakers as well. Well, that's a bit of an anemic one, isn't it? That one there. But that's probably got a lot of scent on it. Yeah, up there. Okay. Time to go home. I think I have a nice warm cup of coffee, I think. Oh, that chill from the Antarctic. Whoa, it's just come in and it's... Whoa. I mean, hopefully that bodes well that we're not going to rush straight out of the season. I might just be able to get down to Mount Compass, you never know. So yeah, sometime around Father's Day probably. Oh, maybe we just need to finish this off. I don't think, you know, scan the area, get the colour. Oh, well, I'm not on the settings we were testing, were we? We're just back to the usual one, but maybe it's testing the level shot versus all the other stuff, so yeah. It looks a bit dry though, so those 2 days we had a week or so ago, you know, they really, yeah, that was yuck, and all the birds started singing, and, you know, I don't know, birds singing to me is a sad time, you know. It means that the season's coming to an end, and you soon be gone, and you're going to have to be sitting down for 7.5 months waiting for the bloody 5 months, if that's if that is it, to start up again. Okay. Anything? Yeah. Yeah. People say you're paranoid, but I think it's more like melancholy. Melancholy. Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. If suddenly the soy bacon takes off, I think it will just take the edge off of everything. I think. Be laughing. Finally out of peat, once and for all and forever. And then we also might find out what really did go on with the. Because once people don't have an avenue, they have to buy peat anymore. What are all these people that are pumping out these bales of peat going to do? Is the story going to slowly leak out what really was going on? Oh, gee, that could get interesting. I can imagine a few places getting their greenhouse ranges getting burnt to the ground. You mean I've been wasting half my life? I had no absolute possible way of growing these things to any degree of comfortability or satisfaction? No way, mate. There's barely any peat in those bales whatsoever. It was basically corn and a few other components. And had you had the real peat, you would have been laughing. We didn't want that. We wanted to have total control of your growing ability so we could milk you for all we could, wean you off. Yeah, we're going to wean you off your salary as best we could, We felt we wanted your money greater than you. We thought you deserved it yourself, sort of thing. Yeah, usual bloody greed mentality. You don't deserve to have that sort of money. We should be sucking into our business, by conning you and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Well, what are we going to discover? What's the rule? It always gets worse before it gets better. So what we think how bad it has been or was is probably going to be a little bit worse than that, and we're going to really find out what was really going on in this country. As I said, just a hint of it is the fact that we were fobbed off with those acetate copies for movies for donkey's years, whereas people in America were watching them, almost at DVD quality on their screens before they had DVD sort of thing, on the giant screens at the cinema. And then you hear all these things that Kodaks had patents that only extended their borders, and you think, well, there you go, there's some bit of evidence there. I mean, I was blown away when Donald Sell sent me some slide copies of some of my slides, And, I just could not, I could barely fault them. It was almost like if you put them in another package and sent them back from the original company, I would not have known that they were copies, put it that way. The fact that he told me they were copies, well, you had to really look, yeah. I mean, so anyway, George Lucas is, in his infinite wisdom, wanted to go down as the last person in the bloody world to use acetate copies, and of course, he did that for episode 3, having given us really high quality stuff for episodes 1 and 2. So I got really pissed off when I did not know those missiles had barbs on them. I'm just putting it out to you, George. You owe me at least one really good screening, and I'm going to hold that to you to the rest of your life, if not to the rest of my life. So you owe me one really good screening of the same sort of quality I had with episode 1 down in Mount Gambier. That's all I want, that sort of quality. I was quite happy with episode 1. I had my first jaw-dropping experience. I'll give you some credit there, Sunshine. You gave me my first jaw-dropping. And also episode 2, same sort of quality.